Stephen Amell of Arrow discusses a potential Season 9 appearance on The Flash because it would be a fitting finish to the Arrowverse he founded. Ranking the numerous crossovers that previously occurred in the Arrowverse is difficult. The Flash's 2014 addition to Arrow, the network's flagship show, marked the beginning of the CW's shared superhero universe. So what did Amell say? Also, what are some of the best and worst CW crossovers so far? Let's take a look. First up, the Arrow's Stephen Amell has recently addressed a potential Flash Season 9 appearance. Stephen Amell, who plays Stephen on Arrow, discusses a potential The Flash Season 9 appearance as the Arrowverse draws to a close. The Flash's final season is presently in production and is scheduled to end in March of 2023. Grant Gustin plays Barry Allen in The Flash, an Arrow spin-off that debuted on the CW in 2014. Allen is a forensic scientist who gains super speed and uses it to battle other superhumans who abuse their power. Initially appearing as Barry in Arrow's second season, Episode 8, The Scientist, in 2013, the pair later collaborated on several crossover events, such as Flash vs. Arrow, until Arrow's 8-season run officially ended in 2020. Recently, Stephen Amell addressed a potential appearance in Season 9 of The Flash during an Instagram Live. The Arrow actor appears more than willing and ready to have a final on-screen appearance in the Arrowverse, even though he claims he has not yet been called back to the show. Despite Oliver Queen's passing on Crisis on Infinite Earths, the crossover that served as Arrow's season finale, Stephen Amell's comeback as the Green Arrow might work. Amell has expressed his willingness to take on the role once more, saying he would do so if he could be of service to the Arrowverse in any manner. And on the show's 10th anniversary, he tweeted, "If the suit still fits." Amell's most recent remarks support his sincere desire to rejoin the Arrowverse. Although Oliver Queen dies in Crisis on Infinite Earths, giving his life to save humanity, it is still possible to change his life course. Given the numerous chances to return for one last mission in The Flash Season 9 and the fact that production is still ongoing, a concluding Arrow crossover remains intriguing. So, will it happen? Also, what can we expect in the final season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Speaking of The Flash and CW, what are some of the greatest and not-so-great crossovers? Ranking the numerous crossovers that have previously occurred in the Arrowverse is a difficult undertaking, to say the least. The Flash's 2014 addition to Arrow, the network's flagship show, marked the beginning of the CW's shared superhero universe. The following show, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, introduced time travel while giving the numerous outcast heroes and villains of the Arrowverse a new home. Supergirl joined the Arrowverse in 2016 after leaving CBS, and Batwoman joined the Pantheon in 2019 after Arrow Season 8 concluded the original series. Because of how big the Arrowverse has gotten, Crisis on Infinite Earths served as a multiverse-wide reckoning. So, this begs the question, what are some of the worst and best CW crossover events that have taken place so far? First up, when heroes join forces. The immortal Vandal Savage travels to Central City in search of Kendra Saunders, aka Hawkgirl, his self-declared reborn love. The Flash and Green Arrow work together to take down Savage in order to defend her and her real love, Hawkman. This was just the Flash and Arrow's second significant crossover, and because it had to set up Legends of Tomorrow's debut season, it suffered. Nevertheless, by including Oliver Queen's son-in-law, it added to the plot of Green Arrow and provided more background for upcoming Arrow storylines. The heroes appeared to lose in the climax, but Barry Allen used time travel to Deus Ex Machina his way to triumph. Next up, Supergirl and The Flash. Whether or not this qualifies as an event is up for debate. The Flash accidentally enters Kara Danvers' universe at a time when Supergirl was still owned by CBS and winds up assisting her with the most recent superhuman threats affecting her peaceful national city. Before Supergirl moved to the CW, this one-episode crossover was crucial in establishing the endearing chemistry between Melissa Benoist and Grant Gustin. Other than Barry Allen appearing as a special guest star, it was just another episode of Supergirl. Now, this has to be one of the biggest crossovers to date. The 2018 crossover, which included Arrow, The Flash, and Supergirl episodes, was the Arrowverse's biggest event to date. In Elseworlds, Jeremy Davis played John Deegan and LaMonica Garrett played the Monitor, who tested and obliterated multiverse worlds with the Book of Destiny in preparation for the oncoming crisis. Only Supergirl knew the truth when Oliver Queen and Barry Allen's bodies exchanged, forcing them to adopt each other's superhero personas. In addition, Elseworlds added Lois Lane, Elizabeth Tulloch, the Kent Farm from Smallville, the wicked black suit Superman for the heroes to battle, and John Wesley Shipp's version of The Flash, who also makes an appearance appearance. Tyler Hoechlin returned as Superman. If that wasn't enough, the second hour transported the heroes to Gotham City. It introduced Batwoman, Ruby Rose, and the supervillains housed in Arkham Asylum, setting up the upcoming Batwoman television series, the world's finest episode. This second crossover between The Flash and Supergirl was only present in one episode, much like World's Finest. Contrary to its predecessor, Duet may legitimately be described as an event due to its novel musical structure. Barry and Kara are imprisoned in a song-and-dance dream world populated by doppelgangers of their friends and family by the Music Meister, played by former Glee actor Darren Criss. The episode featured a super flashy production and plot befitting of its Broadway talent and influences, making the most of the musical talents of its two main stars, who are also Glee alumni, as well as those of its supporting cast, which included actors like Jesse L. Martin, John Barrowman, Victor Garber, and others. Now, this mashup was something else. It brought together Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl characters to fight the Dominators, a global extraterrestrial menace. This was the CW-Verse's first major crossover. Barry Allen and Oliver Queen received particular focus, even though it was gratifying to see all of those heroes interact, butt heads, and band together for the first time. Barry is forced to deal with the effects of the Flashpoint plotline, as well as the responses of his friends and allies as they found out about his deeds. Oliver, who comes from a morally ambiguous background and is one of the few to support Barry, is another. Speaking of Oliver, the second installment of the crossover also happened to be the 100th episode of Arrow, allowing for a celebration of the program's run to date with a few noteworthy guest appearances, all encased in a wider conflict with foreign invaders. Next up, Flash versus the Arrow. Simple is preferable in some situations. The first official crossover between the CW-Verse's top shows may not have had the big vision of later attempts, but the narrower focus made it possible for more intimate storytelling as the two characters work together to defeat a villain that's wreaking havoc in both of their respective home cities. This crossover's overlooked genius was in how it analyzed the distinctions between its opposed heroes. The idealistic Flash has a hard time understanding the gritty Green Arrow, which causes exciting and enjoyable encounters between the two as they swing between cooperating and competing. Next, the Crisis on Earth X. Crisis on Earth X, which spans all four series, is the pinnacle of the Arrowverse crossovers. Its accomplishment is made all the more remarkable by the fact that it actually came out at the same time as Justice League. Now, this CW event was by far the superior and more satisfying DC Comics super team-up adventure. The doppelgangers from Earth X attack the superheroes who have gathered in Central City for Barry and Iris's wedding under the leadership of Dark Arrow, Overgirl, and the Reverse Flash. Superheroes are stuck in the harsh realm of Earth X and must fight their way out after the bad guys try to kidnap Supergirl and take her heart to replace the dying Overgirls. The crossover had real stakes since Martin Stein bravely gave his life to defend his fellow heroes. The ultimate battle between the superheroes and the army of Earth X was one of the best confrontations ever in the Arrowverse. It gets even better when Supergirl challenges Overgirl by citing Superman 2. General, would you like to go outside? By the time the crossover is done, Oliver Queen and Felicity Smoke had also been married, in addition to Barry and Iris. Crisis on Earth X is a daring and stunning multiversal adventure that sets a high bar for Crisis on Infinite Earth to match, despite the controversy surrounding the subject matter. And of course, taking the top spot, Crisis on Infinite Earths. It is a complete triumph. Crisis on Infinite Earths. The biggest crossover event ever was staged across the 5 Arrowverse programs, and it was a real epic in every way because of its tremendous ambition. The main characters from Batwoman, Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow battled to protect the multiverse from the Anti-Monitor. Crisis astonished viewers by combining dozens of cameos from all of the DC Comics television shows and motion pictures. Being shocked by who made an appearance in the crossover was a big part of the fun of Crisis. From Tom Welling's Clark Kent from Smallville to Tom Ellis's Lucifer Morningstar to Brandon Routh's Superman to the biggest surprise of them all, The Flash and Scarlet Speedster, allowing the Arrowverse and the DCEU to acknowledge one another for the first time. Oliver Queen, the hero who started it all, changed into the Spectre, rebooting the multiverse so that all of his super buddies now live on the same planet, Earth Prime. Additionally, the sheer scope of Crisis was actually really exciting to watch develop, despite some awkward plot points. It's difficult to hold the Arrowverse responsible if next year's crossover is toned back, because Crisis actually altered the Arrowverse in unexpected ways and set a new high bar. The greatest Arrowverse crossover of all time, Crisis on Infinite Earths, may never be surpassed. Unfortunately, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.